Hello everyone. So for this one, we're going to be looking at how to complete queries, okay? Attribute queries specifically, okay? So I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples of what to do because I know lab number 7 can be a challenge, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to complete it. Okay, I'm going to, well, not complete the lab, but how to complete the task of it, okay? So that way there's no confusion and you guys will be able to understand, okay? So I'm just going to pull up some data here so that way you guys can understand it. We'll even use the New York City one. That's the one that we're going to be using, okay? Now, to complete a query, it's not that difficult, but I do want to show you guys how you do it and then how you create layers from it, okay? Because I think where students get confused is it's not the task of doing it. I would say the confusion is what do I do once I have the query data? How do I show it? Okay, how do I display it in symbology? So I'm going to show you guys how to do this, okay? So that way there's no confusion. So to complete a query, you simply need to go to selection up here and select by attributes. But before we do that, I always say open up the attribute table and say what are you going to do? Like what is the data you want to show? Okay, like what do you want to show for everybody to see? Okay, you can either show it by numeric. Okay, let me pull this down just a little bit so you guys can see it better. You know, it's a little bit hard to see. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll lock it right here. So what is it you're trying to show? I mean, are you trying to show, are you trying to show the function? Are you trying to show the land? Are you trying to show total population? Are you trying to show median age? So you always have to ask the question, what are you trying to display? Like, what is the data you want to display, okay? I'm going to show you guys, a couple ways how to do this, okay? That way there is no confusion, okay? So, in order to do it, you need to go here to selection. Select by attributes, okay? Make sure that the correct layer is selected. If you notice here, there's only one because I only have one selected. You have to make sure you have the correct one selected. Another mistake I have seen throughout my career is people are like, hey, I can't find it. Well, make sure you have the correct layer selected. That's why labeling is very important with your labels, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, well, let's say I want to, let's say I want to look at the function, okay? So to make it easier, I always tell people don't type in here unless you absolutely have to. Double click on it, okay? Notice I'm double click on it, okay? And let's say we'll go get unique values first, okay? Now there's only yes, so it's only going to select those, okay? So you then do equal to, okay? Do that and hit apply. Now it's going to select them all. I'm going to show you one where it doesn't select them, okay? But you can clearly see here it's selecting all of them, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. You can get rid of queries too by just backspacing, okay? Hit apply, okay? Whoop. But you can even hit close too, okay? So you used to be able to do that, not anymore. But if you want to get rid of it immediately, see this right here? It says clear selected features. Click on that, okay? So you can select it by text, but also by number too. Let me show you how to do that. Let's say we want to do, let's do one a little more challenging. Let's say we want the ID, okay? ID, get unique values, okay? Let's say we want two of them, okay? This is where it gets a little challenging. We'll say ID equal to, we'll do this, we'll select that. Now, this is where I'm going to tell people, don't type it in. You can type in numbers, but you have to be very precise. I'll show you how to do this here in just a minute. Let's say you want 00 and you want 202. You do that, then you got to select or ID equal to this, we'll say this one, okay? You have to do it twice. The reason why I'm not selecting and is because or what it does is it actually selects, okay? The or is saying that it's equal to this or that. And means it has to be both 00 and 202. Kind of like in football. Let's say the Broncos. If we say the Broncos will make the playoffs if the Ravens and the Colts lose. What does that mean? It means the Ravens and the Colts both have to lose on that given Sunday. Whereas if it says Denver Broncos make the playoffs if the Ravens or the Colts lose, that means either one can lose, okay? That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to use that distinctive language. I'm going to hit apply right here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and you can even see here in the table, if you actually go here, okay, where it will actually show you selected ones, okay, you can go zoom to selected. And I'll go ahead and I'll move this out of here. Again, it's a little new feature here in the newest form of ArcGIS, okay. Let me actually exit out of this table. So you see there's one of them, okay, you can clearly see the selected one. And then, of course, there's another one, too. And it's a little bit hard to see, so let me go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see it better. Okay. So clearly you can see that, you know, I did that because, again, it shows the islands and it shows that one little part there of Manhattan, okay? Now, let's say you want to show these two, okay? You then need to go here. You have to right-click it. And you have to go to selection, okay? So let me show you that again. You have to go here, right-click it, and go to selection, okay? Then you need to go here to create layer from selected features. See how it creates those two now? Okay? See that? So what that does is I would suggest making it a label so you know what it is. I'm going to change it to, you know, I'll just say wealthy property, okay? I'll make it, I don't know per se the income, but again, we're assuming it's in Manhattan, so it has to be. Okay? See how I do that now? Boom, then it's easier for me to access it. You need to clear right here. You can go to clear selected features. Now you can see how it, you know, creates a new layer. Because some of you guys asked me before, how can I separate Weld County? How can I separate these cities? This is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, let me do another selection here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Let's say you know the number here. Let's say you want to type in a number. Now, this is, again, where I'm going to say be very careful, okay? I'm going to make sure I have the correct selected one. See how now you have two. If I just do this one right here, I'm going to have very few values. So make sure you do have the correct one. I'm going to go to Manhattan Tracks, okay, again. I'm going to zoom down. I'm going to go to total population, okay. I'm going to do get unique values, okay. Now, let's say, though, I want something more even, okay. Let's say, it's a little too many. I can then go to equal to, but we know equal to will just give us one value, right? We know value is equal to it. You can do either the less than or greater than. Let me show you how, okay? Let's say I want total population, okay, to be, this right here. Let's say I do that, okay? Let's say I want total population to be bigger, okay, or greater than, let's say, 1244. I can hit apply, okay, and it will select those. Now, I'm always asked this question, can I type the number in? You can, but let me show you how, okay? Let me get rid of this right here. Okay, I'm going to show you the most common mistakes. I've seen people do this, okay? They'll select that and be like, okay, I have that. I'm just going to type out 1200, okay? Hit apply. Okay? And it seems to be working. Usually you have to put a space in between. I'll say in the older versions it's not very forgiving, okay? Where if you actually mess it up, it's not forgiving at all. And I've seen that happen before countless times. So let me go ahead and do that. Hit apply. Okay. But again, I always recommend just putting a space right there because I have seen it to where if you don't have any spaces, let me do this right here. Okay, it's working now, but I'm letting you know now though, if you are using an older version, I'm going to say 10.1, 10.2, it will say error in it. Because I remember learning this, again, back in the Stone Age, that, it's the same format. The format has not changed in, over 10 years. But if you have either too many spaces or if you do that, it's going to create errors, okay? And I have seen that done before. So I always suggest just clicking everything because there occasionally can be some errors. Kind of surprised not doing it with me. But again, I always like to do a space and then just do that. Again, that's just a habit from the older versions. That's just me, okay? It's just to prevent any errors, okay? And I'm going to hit apply again. Okay, clearly there are none there. Okay, clearly it's a little bit lower. But let's say I do a lower number, okay? You're going to see this now. Clearly it's selecting the whole thing. So again, you can do it that way. Now, you can also do this. You can also do to where it's smaller. Let's say that's something that's, less than this. Okay, we'll do that. Clearly, going to select fewer of them. Okay, let's say I make it a real big number. Okay, let's say I do that. Clearly, again, it's selecting them. Okay, so again, that's how you can do it. And if you do the greater than or equal to or less than equal to, it simply means that it will equal that number, okay? So again, you might have a couple differences there, but you're not going to see it, okay? Those are the most common ones used are these right here. I'd say these are most common, equal to this one, this one, this one, okay? You can even say any equal to null. You'll understand when I do that with it. But that's really the basics of doing it. I want to say another thing too where students get confused is when they go into their other one they created. Again, you can also further it down. Like let's say you have, GOA 10 equal to, let's say get unique values, okay? Say I want to do that, hit apply, okay? It can select another one. Let me clear my selections up here as well, my selection state. Say I hit apply again, it selects that one. I can create another one from a one I created. So I go here again, go to selection, create layer from selected features, okay? Again, I can create one even further, okay? Let me go ahead and get rid of this. You see how I did this right here? I can even then change the name. So you can select as many times as you want, as long as you have a value in there. Now, obviously, if you don't have any text or no values, then you can't do it, and then you can't do an attribute query, okay? So that's really the basics of attribute queries. I know the lab is a little challenging. It's meant to be. And for all you fire science majors, it's actually designed specifically for you because it's asking you to specifically say, commercial properties, okay, where are they? Because again, anytime you have a massive fire, you guys probably know this, that you need to say the commercial properties first in order for the area to economically be rebuilt. Okay, so again, it actually really is going to be for the fire science majors. But again, guys, you can apply this to really anything, okay? But I just want to do a lab, so I know we have a good number of you in the fire science program here, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. And again, just be sure to watch the other videos too.